Hello, Screven County Schools. Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. Technology tips, tricks, and tutorials in 5 minutes or less. I'm your instructional technology coach, Marlene Harris. In this week's episode, I'd like to introduce you to some new features of Google Forms, including quiz mode and adding images to multiple choice questions. So let's begin by opening a Google form and looking at some settings. Inside of your Google form, open the settings menu by clicking the gear icon. In the General tab, make sure that you have the first two options selected. Restrict to Screven County School users and collect email addresses. Otherwise, you will not be able to automatically grade the quizzes and send the grades back to the students. You may choose to limit to one response, or if you would like to give them multiple attempts, unselect that choice. You can allow them to get an email receipt of their responses. They can edit after submit or see a summary of all of the responses for the form. Under the Presentation tab, you can show a progress bar, shuffle the question order, show a link to submit another response, or you can update your confirmation message. Under the Quiz tab, you need to make sure that that slide bar is on, so you are now in quiz mode. You need to decide if you want to release their grades immediately after each student submits. They would immediately see their grade, or you can choose to review first and then release the scores later. If you would like for all of your class to complete the quiz first, you need to choose that option, and then you can manually release whenever you're ready to release those grades. You can allow them to see what questions they missed and what the correct answers are if you so choose. Make sure you save all of those settings, and now your form is set up for quiz mode. Now that we have our quiz set up, we can create a selected response item with one correct answer. That is a multiple choice item type, so make sure you choose multiple choice from your drop-down list. Type your question. You now notice an image icon beside the question. If you would like to add an image prompt to your question, select that icon. You can add an image from your hard drive. You can add it by URL from your Google Drive or search. In this case, I'll search Google for a dog nose. Double click to select that item, and it's now added into your form. If you'll notice in the top left, there is a snowman icon where you can align your image, change it, remove it, or add a caption. In this case, I want to center align my image. Scroll down, add your options, and below that you'll see an answer key. Click on the answer key and you can assign a point value for this question. Select the correct answer, and below the answers you'll see an option to add some feedback. If you click on this, you can add feedback for incorrect answers or for correct answers. You can even add a link to a review item if they've gotten the answer incorrect. Make sure you save all your feedback for that item. To go back to the Edit Question mode, make sure you click here and it'll take you back to Edit Question. And now you're ready to add the next question in your quiz. To create a selected response item with multiple correct answers, and students will choose all that apply, choose the check boxes item type, create your question and options as normal, and if you would like to add an image to your options, look for the image icon on the right side of each option. Inside the answer key, assign a point value. This question will be graded for partial credit since there are more than one correct answers here. So if they answer 2 out of the 3 correct, they'll get 2/3 of the credit. You'll go through and click all of the answers that are correct and toggle back to Edit Question to add another question type. The third type of item that you can create is a selected response with multiple correct answers, but you're asking them to just choose one of those correct answers from a list. That would be a drop-down type item. Build your question and your options as normal. In the answer key, go in and assign a point value. Select all of the answers that you would choose as correct, and the students would just have to choose one of those to receive full credit for the question. After your students have completed the quiz, you can go to the Response tab to see a summary of all of your students' responses. And if you opted to delay the release of the scores, here's where you can review the scores first and then release them from here. To see individual responses, click the Individual tab and then scroll through and see each individual's responses using your options here. So that is Google Forms quizzes with images. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Tech Tip Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you next week.